At last, the curtain of night slowly falls over the vicinity.
Oh my god, it's working.
Oh,
Oh my
it's so
god.
pretty.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah, this is like the first time he's seeing the stars, like ever.
Yep.
Wow. I could only think that the projector's condition had become so bad that it had undergone catastrophic failure. Pinpoints of silver light. He thinks it broke, and this is this is like, oh no,
Oh
it's
no.
like static from a radio. Oh. Pinpoints of silver light, like so many grains of sand, were scattered all over the dome, as if they had been there since the very beginning, twinkling in silence. Some were bright, and some were dark. Others were red, and others were yellow. An eternity of stars, some that seemed to fall, some as if they burned, some like gold dust, and some like hundreds of jewels. I had heard stories of what the starry sky had looked like before the advent of the war and the rain, but I could never in my wildest dreams have conjured up the spectacle that was presenting itself before my eyes.
This is the starry sky at 8 p.m. tonight.
She proclaimed proudly.
It is impossible to see this many stars unless you go to the peak of a tall mountain with very pure air. That which is crossing the ceiling right now is the Milky Way. It may look like smoke, but it actually is an entire galaxy of little stars. Men of antiquity looked up at this spectacle and imagined that there was milk flowing in the sky, and thus was born the name that we know it by today.
Sure enough, a dim white band in the midst of the jet black. I saw a dim white. Bleh. Sure enough, I saw a dim white band in the midst of the jet black, as if someone had thrown a fishing net over the sky. Her voice continued to stream through the river of the heavens.
Now, would you please focus your attention on the highest star, the one set at the ceiling of the sky? That is Deneb, the first magnitude star of the constellation Cygnus. Deneb, Altair, Vega, and the magnificent triangle that they comprise together. And connecting the dim stars in the sky were so many constellations: Cygnus, Aquilia, Lyra. These are all constellations of summer. Although today has been a very chilly day, if you turn your eyes upward toward the night sky, you can still find these final traces of summer.
Oh.
Now then, shall we turn our attention to the constellations of autumn?
Her commentary began to shift over to the autumn stars. I sank back in my chair and from time to time surveyed my surroundings. I did so because I felt that surely if I were to continue looking up at those stars, my own spirit would be sucked into that immaterial sky. It seemed that the projector was in excellent condition after all. As bulky and as implacable as the Titan Atlas, who carried the world on his back, the projector slowly allowed its fixed star balls to rotate in place. The winged horse, Pegasus, the chained princess, Andromeda.
The kind and beautiful Princess Andromeda told her father, the king of Ethiopia, that at this rate the kingdom of Ethiopia will be destroyed, and consented to become a sacrificial victim.
She launched into the recitation of ancient myths without hesitation or stuttering.
A vast monster rapidly approached her from the sea, giving herself over to inevitable death. Princess Andromeda did not struggle with her chains. She had resigned herself to being eaten alive. But in her mind, she was screaming, "Somebody, somebody save me." It was then when,
As I raised myself in my chair a bit, I could see small shadows clinging close to the projector. As she talked, she tugged on the interface cable gently with her arms, as if it were indeed a chain imprisoning her, regardless of the fact that usually, probably no one noticed. Right now, in this very world, she was an omnipotent storyteller, and the stars were her little garden. The princesses, heroes, monsters, and gods, all of them bowed down to her reverently, playing their individual parts in the unfolding drama with absolute obedience.
And thus, did Andromeda and Perseus become constellations set in the autumn sky, where they continue to live today.
The story was over. As if to allow what she had just said to sink into the minds of those in the audience, she fell silent for a few seconds. The soft starlight flooded down upon her pale cheeks as if by design of time itself.
Now that we have concluded our tour of the constellations, let us now turn to our commemorative projection. It is named Mankind Spreading Its Wings.
Oh, that's that's beautiful. And at that moment, all the stars disappeared. It felt as if she had just let out a shriek to which she could give no voice. Is that you or me?
That's you.
Wait, what happened? Even as I bolted out of my seat, I stopped mid-motion. The darkness that surrounded me was so profound that it was as if the other chairs, the dome, and even all the space around me had vanished. And suddenly, a light arose from the front. She was enveloped in a gentle yellow aura, not unlike that from a candle.
Mr. Customer, please be at ease.
She said to me as I ran up to her.
There are fiber optics woven into my uniform. Please wait for a little bit by my side until the lights can come back on.
What happened? Did a light bulb burn out?
Miss Jena is not responding. Neither the projectors nor the axes are activating. As I am a simple robot, I cannot deal with this situation, so this is quite serious. I am very worried.
Damn it! As I fumbled my way to the top of the projector pedestal, I grew worried that something serious was amiss. The 3 green emergency lights that had continued shining with low luminosity even during the projections had completely gone out. And then I understood. This was not a breakdown in the projector, nor was it something that was particularly easy to solve. Where is the fuse board?
Right this way.
She pulled the interface cable out of its socket near her ear. I followed her as she walked without fear or hesitation in the darkness. The problem was simple. It was so simple that it verged on the idiotic, that it was difficult for me to truly accept that it had happened in the first place. The weak stream of electrical power from the sarcophagus city, that had somehow miraculously supplied this place for over 30 years, had died out during the one time when it was actually needed. Or perhaps the operation of the projector itself was the trigger of the outage. But no matter what the cause was, I had no way of restoring the power.
Mr. Customer, may I ask a question?
As I had carried on my useless struggle with the fuse board, she had fallen mysteriously silent, but at last she opened her mouth again.
What kind of tools are necessary to repair Miss Jena? Is it a matter of swapping out the fixed star light bulbs? It just will not do for the projection to be suspended while there are customers viewing it. You must immediately repair it and restart the projection. You are the first customer to view our commemorative projection. All of the staff here labored so hard to produce it. So please.
She stared at me beseechingly with her eyes wide open. There is no malfunction. The power has been cut off, is all.
I beg your pardon, but I do not understand.
The electricity has been cut off. It's an electrical outage. Do you understand?
An electrical outage. In that case, the emergency power will come online soon enough.
This place has been supplied all along by that emergency power of which you speak. Now that it has been cut off, we are out of options.
case, when will the power return?
It will never return. It is not a problem of just this building either.
In that case, what must we do in order to restart the projection?
I couldn't say anything.
If there's anything I can do to help, please order me to do something.
She again sank into silence, eagerly awaiting my words. She was like a mother who had already knew the condition of her child's disease by reading the doctor's facial expression. I could clearly feel every single second passing me by. She arose from her sitting position and turned toward me.
Mr. Customer, and does that mean that the special projection...
Listen closely to what I have to say. I stopped her before she said what she was going to say.
Yes, sir.
Continue the projection. Your voice will be enough. Oh, as she shook her head slowly, the halo of delicate phosphorescence that surrounds her moved like a veil.
I beg your pardon, but I do not understand.
It doesn't matter whether the projection activates or not. What I want is to hear your explanation and commentary. Can you do that?
Yes, I can do that. But if it is just my commentary alone, then that will not be a projection.
It's okay. If it's about the stars, then I will be able to see everything. Just from you speaking, I will know all of what it is that you want to show me. All of this coming from my mouth was nonsense. Even I didn't understand why I was saying these things. She peered at my face with great curiosity and, somehow, even greater yearning. I felt as if she was seeing right through me. And slowly, she began to speak.
You must really love the stars, Mr. Customer.
Oh, I'm sorry, chat, for not saying hi. This is a pretty big moment.
Hi, chat. Hi, chat.
Yeah, thank you, Firebat, for following. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome to the stream.
I'm having a little trouble doing my happy welcome. It's pretty emotional moment, but thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, he says this visual novel, it brings me back. And Nanimonai says the purest feelings.
Aw, she is pure.
Okay, I think we're gonna go back. It was pretty like they started the special projection and then the power died, and it was like the thing they worked on for all those years.
Yeah.
But I guess even though we're not gonna see the stars part of it, we're gonna at least see like her presentation, right? So that's good enough. The other thing that comes to mind is that if the emergency power is gone, then tonight she might not be able to recharge her batteries.
It's gonna happen to her, right?
Yeah. So not only is this like the one chance for their, I guess this might be the one chance for their hard work, for their special presentation. It might be the only chance for her to give it.
Might be their first and last presentation in 30 years.
Okay. Firebat says, this visual novel is a field trip, so prepare yourselves. Yeah.
I think we're already feeling the feels.
Yeah. Mr. Customer really does love the stars now that he's seeing them for the first time.
Yeah.
It was a tone of voice that I had never heard up until now from her. Something close to shocked laughter.
I am truly honored to have you as a customer of our humble establishment. In that case, very well. We will continue the projection through my explanations alone.
Her smile alone seemed to flood the endless darkness with her gentle light. Achievement unlocked. Umemi's projection. I think this is
A
you.
long, long, long time ago, in the midst of dark and gloomy caves, the ancestors of humanity were eking out their existences, huddled together. The world was still locked in ice, and huge tusked beasts still roamed the land. Our ancestors struggled every day just to gather enough food to live one more day at a time.
It's just like now.
Yeah, except now it's toilet paper.
Oh no, I mean in the story too, because they
Oh, I thought you meant like now during coronavirus. I mean, also not wrong, to be honest. One long frozen night, one young man woke up. He was probably very cold, and his stomach was probably very empty, so he was unable to sleep. With sleepy eyes, he headed to the entrance of the cave and peered outside. What he saw with his own two eyes was the millions of stars that were glittering in the night sky. The reverie of mankind spreading its wings toward the cosmos.
That was the title of this special projection. The concept seemed simple enough. To have this robot girl narrate the story of how mankind, which had always longed to reach out for the stars, was now on the verge of attaining its goal. A darkness as thick and impenetrable as wet ash settled once again around me. I could not even make out the outline of the projector. I closed my eyes and concentrated with all my heart on imagining the things of which she spoke. This way, she would be in control of not just that piece of machinery known as Miss Jena, but of all the equipment capable of projecting an image in the room. The slide projector installed on the pedestal would begin to project, one slide at a time, the genealogy of mankind as it strove to reach past the sky. Of the man who had fashioned wings out of the bird's feathers and affixed those wings to their arms, and the tragic result. Of the floating paper balloons that amused a king, and of the laboratory, and of the inventor that had become a gilded cage for its prisoner. Of the man who silently experimented over and over with crude gliders made of bamboo and cane. Of the men who invented the first aircraft, of its first flight in the billowing dunes, witnessed by so few. Of the fanciful Victorian engineers who built rockets in attempt to head to the moon, and of wars that swallowed up the entire world in their mad conflagrations. Of the first artificial satellite, of the first radio signal from space, of the dog Laika, who would never come home to Earth, of the pilots who challenged the stratosphere, of the first manned spaceflights, of the first spacewalk, and of mankind's first footprints on the moon.
I feel like you're talking more than I am. The time of wars came to an end, and at last ushering in an era where the whole world would link hands in order to reach out towards the cosmos.
The time of wars has come to an end.
No, we're back.
I guess it did 30 years ago. Her voice resounded clearly through time and space, bringing me all the way from the distant past, all the way up to the present.
To the heavens, toward the high heavens. You want me to read this part, or do you want to keep reading it?
I guess you can read it since it's like her saying it.
I feel like it would make more sense, if I read it. An international satellite communications network, a space shuttle system, an international space station, and its plans to return to the surface of the moon. Beyond the sky of light, escaping the darkness of night and the many unavoidable tragedies that occurred as mankind soared higher and higher, changing so many tears into the seeds of new dreams and of the International Manned Mission to Mars, coming soon. And thus did people manage to set foot on distant planets. A laser pointer would now be directing you at a red star shining in the southern sky.
Nice.
You can imagine a slow close-up flyby of the surface of that red planet, Mars. This is Mars. Its diameter is 6,974 kilometers. Solar revolution is 687 days. Mean atmospheric temperature is negative 55 degrees Celsius, and its mean atmospheric pressure is 7 hectopascals. The carbon dioxide itself is quite thin and is composed mainly of carbon dioxide. When traces of ancient water rays were discovered on the surface of this red planet, people imagined wild tales and legends of extraterrestrial life. Fleeting, whimsical stories of grotesque invaders with incredibly advanced science, of beautiful ladies and heroes, and of aliens come to destroy a harmonious civilization. But now, we know that Mars is a dead planet, devoid of any traces of life. However, the theories that the canals on Mars were constructed by intelligent life have not faded, and in fact, continue to charm many people to this day.
And at that point, she paused for a second.
Our planetarium was established in the very first year that mankind was first successful in setting foot on Mars. Since then, very many people have come and viewed our projections. Truly, Mars is the very symbol of the success of the space colonization program. It is also the namesake of Mars, the Roman god of war. The image of Mars now slowly fades and is replaced by a complex sphere of blue, green, and white, shining as brilliantly as glass. Please take a look. This is the third planet from the Sun, our very own Earth. It has been the cradle of mankind since the olden days, and it will always be considered the birthplace of man, will it not? Although I am a robot, I was also produced on this planet. I can reel off any number of measurements concerning the Earth for you, but it would probably take a hefty software upgrade for me to be able to accurately express our planet's beauty to you.
She smiled, almost as if shy about her words, and then she again fell silent for a little while.
Now, robots are not the only beings who can upgrade the goodness of their hearts. Overpopulation, energy issues, water problems, a rising sea level, an ecosystem in imbalance, air pollution, and finally, problems of who possesses space. Currently, there are many problems and disputes in this world. However, this is what I believe. Mankind will be able to solve all of its problems and will one day reach out to the world of the stars.
She was now a priestess telling of oracular visions. With graceful actions, she extended her arms wide in the darkness. The starry sky. Oh, yeah.
I'll read this.
Yeah.
The starry sky now belongs to you. Okay. okay, I guess you can read it.
Yeah. That was the message she was conveying with childlike innocence to every single person on this planet.
On this special night, I would like to let you in on a big secret. This planetarium is also a time machine. It allows us to traverse time from the distant past into the farthest future.
This following
Oh,
portion.
oh,
Oh, do you want to do it?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay. This following portion of the presentation would now be turned over to Miss Jena. The projector would once again come to life, and the steel casing would once again tremble with joy. The motor would speak one last time, beginning to emit its low signature aria. And then, like a gentle dinosaur craning its neck, the fixed star balls would begin to draw a complex loci. Within a microcosm bereft of color, new stars would begin to radiate with brilliance.
It's so beautiful. Please take a look. This is the starry sky that will be seen precisely 1,000 years from this day in this place. This is the meager depiction of the starry sky of the future that I, Yoshinoyu Memi, the robot, and Miss Jenna, projector, can give you.
I did not know where her voice was coming from anymore. The customers in this sold-out auditorium would alternately be hushed in amazement or clamoring in excitement, staring up at the starry sky with intoxication. Past the confines of this dome lay a vast ocean of light, like an hourglass of the god. Oh, sorry. Where was I? Wait, where'd I go?
Go back up.
Okay, there we go.
You have to probably scroll.
I must have
Just
gone
scroll
really
over.
far. Yeah, here we go. Wait, what? Oh yeah, I think. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I have to scroll wheel this. Yeah. With intoxication, she slowly closed her eyes and clasped her hands as if in prayer.
I pray, everyone, that you will remember. Even if the world of the stars should someday become a common living ground rather than an unreachable goal to strive for, I pray that you will never forget the starry sky. When you are lost in the dark and can no longer see the stars in the sky, please remember what you have seen here today. This is my little reverie. Well then, let's return to our own day and age.
Do we have to?
Can we stay here?
Yeah.
Please hold on tight so you do not get lost.
The projection would be on its home stretch now. The stars would grow ever more radiant, as if they were being polished by her voice. Having finished its duties, the projector would be returning to its home position, and likewise, the diurnal axis would be revolving back to its original resting spot, like a boat returning to a safe harbor.
The celestial spheres are revolving. The winter constellations are now showing their faces from the eastern horizon. Orion, Auriga, Taurus. These are the harbingers of a magnificent season that will soon be unfolding every night, high above our heads.
And now, a faint light would be starting to suffuse the sky. A dull crimson light would begin to fill the eastern sky. The radiance of the stars begun to weaken. The barely visible stars of the western sky would now dim, as if they were receding into the distance, and then they would vanish entirely.
The long night has finally ended, and morning has once again come to the world. The sun has risen. The twittering of little birds and the rustling of the wind can now be heard. The slumbering buildings and trees, too, are sleepily opening their eyes to greet the rays of the sun. Very soon now, the town will come alive. And just as ever, a new day will begin. Good morning, everyone. Well then, that is the end of our commemorative projection. My name is Hoshino Yumemi, and it has been an honor to have you along with me on this journey. Thank you for listening so attentively. On behalf of all the staff of our establishment, I would like to thank you again. We eagerly await your next visit. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's good. If you need to take a break, you can take a break.
Maybe I'll get some water. Hold on.
Okay. Some water.
Oh my god, when they started talking about like, yeah, I think humanity will overcome these issues and
Yeah. Just the dramatic irony in that moment. But it's really like tragic dramatic irony. Like that didn't happen, did it?
yeah,
Even though she has so much hope.
yeah. They worked on that and they're like, yeah, I'm sure everything will work fine, and they set it all up for the 22,500,000th viewer, and then I guess war started. And, yeah,
I guess you didn't know about it.
yeah.
Are you good? You sound like you're having a little.
Okay. Nani Monai says, it's a good moment. Yeah.
It is a very good moment. That's why I said it's like my favorite scene, definitely.
Ray.
Yeah.
Ray says, there, Kakushie, Fats.
Aw. there. It'll be okay.
Fan my
I think
face for
this is a good lesson to, that we're all connected by the stars. Even though in this world there's the war and the apocalypse and everything's bad.
Oh, you mean the world of the game?
In the world of the game. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this world too, kind of, sort of. But at least we still have our stars, right? I mean, you can still look up at. I think
they're still there.
Yeah, they're still there. You don't have to take them for granted. It's not all over like it is in this visual novel. I think it's a good reminder that, yeah, the stars are there, and we can all appreciate them together.
Maybe one day the rain will actually, stop and humanity can try again slowly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what guys like Mr. Customer, which initials to MC.
That's his name now, Mr. Customer.
M Customer. Yeah, I mean that's why he's got to fight on, right?
I think I think now he has a reason.
Find a woman and make more people.
And worship his god.
Oh,
be honest.
And then get children and tell them about the stars that they're gonna see one day,
or even just pass them on to other people.
Ray says, I'm suddenly reminded of why I loved this visual novel in college.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
me too. Oh, I'm so glad we get to read it together because it's such a good read.
Yeah, I did not see this coming actually. I thought they were gonna
That's
like.
good.
I told
I'm
so.
glad.
I guess I didn't look very far in the anime because I totally thought they were gonna like just leave the planetarium and like go, I don't know, do other stuff for the rest of the anime.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. Yeah,
Nope.
I didn't see this coming.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I definitely teared up when I was first playing it too. Very, it's a very beautiful moment. I was trying not to tear up when I was reading it too, but I think I wanted to deliver it. I wanted to deliver it well.
I think you did a really good job.
Oh, thank you. I kind of wish you had more lines though, and you
Me or
weren't
you?
like interrupting me every couple of
Oh
minutes.
yeah. Yeah, he's like talking about what he imagines seeing. I guess
But
it
I
was good.
think,
I think that
yeah,
you took over to continue kind of giving the presentation. Mhm.
yeah. I think if I do this again next time, I'll try to read the whole thing.
Yeah, just like how would you? I think at some point you got to be like, okay, so at this point, you just sit back and you don't have to
And
talk.
I
I'll
will
just
take over the presentation.
yep.
Yep.
I'll change I to you. I'll change her to me.
Yeah.
And yeah. Well, okay, okay. Oh, did I read this? Nanimonai says it's all jokes and memes till the moment hits you like a truck.
It
Oh,
does. Yeah. Like the rest of
yeah.
the earlier parts were like kind of. I mean, besides the depressing parts, it was kind of silly and funny and
Mm-hmm.
lighthearted.
Yeah.
And then in like this part comes and you're like, oh, you like
Yeah.
you feel it. You're like, oh.
Oh, Ray says feels trip just as I woke up, a new experience. And he says, Kakushie's idle noises are a good way to convey the way the main character's feeling.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were gonna be okay. I
I
mean, it
made some
was
noises.
good. I think it added to the experience, but
I just
I
hope.
didn't know if you
I hope the
no.
MC had a. Sorry, what?
Oh, I was say like I didn't know if you were feeling sick or you were actually feeling touched.
If I was sick. Oh yeah, I have this disease where like water comes out of my face. I don't know why though.
I wish I could cry.
But you're an angel. You don't. Mm.
No, not me, the robot. You mean
Ah.
he wishes she could cry, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.